Our communities are built around strong public schools, and if we continue to siphon dollars out of our public school systems, we are hurting our communities all the way around and hurting our families and hurting our students.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
And on the subject of gutting the Education Trust Fund, there's a push for an expansion of private school scholarships under the Alabama Accountability Act. They want to lift the cap by another $20 million. That's $20 million more in private school scholarships, that much more public money into private pockets, that much more in tax write-offs for the wealthy donors. Even worse is the Price Act, sponsored by the state senator from my district, unfortunately, Republican Larry Stutz. And by the way, Google Larry Stutz lawsuit, just for some interesting reading, in case you're bored. The Price Act would be a full-scale voucher program. Check out this testimony from my former APSO sister, Allison King, who's with the Alabama Education Association. This is from the Ed Policy Committee hearing last week on the Price Act.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Our most glaring concern with the Price Act is that there is no overarching accountability or oversight of taxpayer dollars. In fact, nothing is required in this bill that the money be spent on education at all, much less quality education. Price's online parent payment portal is an ideal setup for fraud. In fact, the bill itself addresses fraud and says that only when it's substantial will it be dealt with. That's on line 436. Because the overwhelming majority of parents who are receiving these vouchers already have their children in private school, they can use this money on pretty much anything they want. It could be used for new iPads on line 531, ACT or SAT prep courses on line 536, Space Camp on line 520, or even Travel Ball on line 513. These are all allowable expenses under the law. Talk about double dipping. The law also says that parents can use the AAA money that's already in place for private school tuition and then also receive the voucher for their under the Price Act as well. No public school student right now receives double dollars. There's zero oversight and accountability for these education service providers. All that is required of them is to sign up on a website, not directly pay kickbacks, and give a receipt. That's in line 572 of the bill. That's all. There's no review of the curriculum, services, materials, or anything else. Anyone can get online and say that they're an education service provider and receive the money. I have a link to the how this has worked in the state of Arizona, which a lot of this is being based off of. I'd be happy to share with you, but their state superintendent was very clear about what a major problem this is. All of our current public schools have required accountability for funds, achievement, and more. Why would we not require that of this as well? I work for AEA, yes, but I spent 10 years as a classroom teacher and school administrator, and I know directly the impact that this would have on our schools. Our communities are built around strong public schools, and if we continue to siphon dollars out of our public school systems, we are hurting our communities all the way around and hurting our families and hurting our students. Thank you for your time.
Great job, Miss King.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Allison. Really appreciate your testimony there. Proponents of school vouchers claim that the tax money should follow the child. Now, nowhere else do we take this approach or follow this logic. My tax money for roads doesn't follow my car. When I disagree with the local police force, I don't get a home security savings account as an alternative choice. Nobody asks how I feel when my tax money funds wars all over the globe, and I wasn't given the choice to opt out of it. The push for school choice is about putting public money into private pockets while pushing reactionary segregationist ideology, backed by a coalition of capitalist vultures and bigots and religious extremists of various stripes. Most of it financed by a handful of billionaires. And the results of these experiments are unsurprisingly harmful for students, educators, families, and communities. Call me radical, but what if we ensured every child an excellent, free, appropriate public education instead? Maybe, just maybe, we could try that after decades of sabotage through corporate reform and privatization. The profiteers offer choice in the marketplace as a replacement for rights in the community. They don't want an education system with guaranteed rights. They want an education marketplace with consumer options, which, like all consumer options, depends on the numbers in your bank account and the amount of green paper in your wallet. And when they say school choice, they really mean the school can choose its students. Educating children is not the same as producing widgets. And given how inequitable and dysfunctional privatized healthcare is, just as an example, why would we believe this will work better for the many and not just a few? It won't, of course, but that's the thing. These folks don't actually believe in a society, or a public, or a community. Only individuals and their money. Educators, parents, students, and communities must unite to defend the teaching profession, the resources our schools rely on, and ultimately, the very concept of public education.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.